to experience triumph. I want to thank everybody who took the time out to watch, share any of my videos. It's truly appreciated. Shout out to all the subscribers, man. I truly appreciate y'all. I'm back with my experience part 4. I'm gonna pick up from where I left off in part 3. So I made it to the nursing home, and once I got there, it was a brand new experience for me. Who would have thought in a million years I'd be going to a nursing home and be up in there? But I get to the nursing home, and I remember just saying a bunch of elderly people and a few young folks that was dealing with certain their own personal situations or whatever. But I get there, and I remember like the second night, I believe, second or third night, probably the first night, I can't even really remember vividly, but I remember Shay coming up and coming to see me, and we get to kicking it, time going past, and we both decided that, you know what I mean, I wanted her to stay the night and she wanted to stay the night. So we wound up asking the nurse, like, how do we go about, visitors staying the night? And he like, well, visitors can't stay the night. And so we got to talking to the supervisor, and they was like, yeah, no visitors can stay the night. And so she slid out for a little minute. So we in there chilling a little longer, and time going by, and we tell each other like, man, forget all that, you staying the night. You know what I mean? She staying the night. So the supervisor wound up coming again. She was adamant about it too. She like, visitors can't stay the night. But she didn't get the memo because time going by and we still in there kicking or whatever. And she wound up staying the night. And that was the first of many nights. So being in a nurse home, I tell anybody, like, I advise anybody to have support. You know what I mean? It's best to have support when you're in a nursing home, because I done seen, like, they be understaffed most of the time. The staff, they do the best they can do, you know what I mean, for the most part. But if you ain't got family coming up there to see you and stuff like that, you probably ain't getting checked on, because everybody ringing their bell to try to get assistance or whatever. But being as though, like I said, that was the first of many nights, because Shay was up there almost every day, you know what I mean. If she wasn't having to work, you know what I mean, and if she did have to work, she was coming up there after work, you know what I mean. She was my treatment, man. But she was coming up there every day, you know what I mean, basically standing up there with me. So as time going by, I remember having to start therapy there, you know what I mean. I had a mother, shout out to moms. I heard her call up there because a few days went by without me getting therapy. I had her call up there like, can you see what's going on with the therapy? And so when she called, she like, hey, we're getting therapy, tomorrow or whatever. So I wound up started getting therapy there. And it was different. It was a new life, So I started therapy there, and they weren't really used to like spinal cord patients. They was used to like dealing with like elderly people and stroke patients. Like I said, I done seen so much in there. That's why I'm just so humble. I had a neighbor in there, and I remember him. He had a stroke, you know what I mean. I remember one day we was in there. He was like, man, it's the worst thing that ever could have happened to him. And I felt this pain, because I'm feeling the same way. Because I had many long nights in there. Like, I remember one night me just praying, like, God, if I ain't gonna heal up from this, please take me from here. Because I had no idea, like, how I was gonna be able to be down here physically in this, predicament. Me having a girl, I'm thinking, like, what I'm gonna be able to do if somebody sit down and try to do something to her, what I'm gonna do. So I'm just thinking, like, God, please just take me from here, And I ain't gonna lie, like, it was nice where I just felt like I didn't even understand, like, why I made it through that situation. Getting shot and then having to live like this. I'm thinking, like, wow, I ain't gonna lie, I just felt like I wish I'd have just died that night. At that time, that's how I felt. Like I said, my thoughts going everywhere, because at the time, I'm not even knowing, like, what happened to me. But as my nights going past, I remember Ashley, my mother, she wound up telling me, like, you had Affleck, whatever. And I had forgot about it, because prior to my injury, I had went to I was working at Food Can. I had applied for Affleck, and I had it. And so I wound up talking to my man Sam. Shout out to my man Sam from Affleck. But I wound up talking to him one day, because I wanted to get it cut off prior to my injury. And I wanted to get it cut off because I'm like, man, I don't go to the hospital, you know what I mean? And then I wound up talking to him about it. He was like, well, you can't get it taken off because like through the state or whatever. And thank God I didn't, because who would have knew a few weeks later I was going to be in shock trauma ICU, where I benefited from having Affleck. I wound up getting a couple $1,000s back. And with that money, I took care of a few things. If you know, you know, I took care of a few things. And basically our time in a nursing home, we did a bunch of door dashing or whatever, and I took care of a few bills or whatever. And it was a new life, like I said, because the car had at least prior to me getting shot or whatever. The car coming, I had to get rid of the car, obviously, so they called me about the money. That's why I said these companies don't really care, because it's like they was all they worried about. All they was worried about was getting that money or whatever. And I'm just like, you know what I mean? I'm in here fighting for my life. I got shot. They ain't care nothing about that. They were just like, where the money at? And I'm like, well, you'll see when you get it. You ain't getting that. You know what I mean? But along the way, so nights going by, my support system, you know what I mean, coming up there, my family, friends, mother, father, everybody just coming up. So that's why I said support is everything, you know what I mean? Because it was nice where I was just like, if I ain't never had like no suicidal thoughts, nothing like that, but I had nights where I really felt like I ain't want to be here, you know what I mean? That really knocked the spark out of me getting shot, you know what I mean? I just almost didn't even care no more, like, take me, you know what I mean? But I had to find motivation, you know what I mean? I found motivation in Shay, my niece, and then, cause Shay, she young at the time, and she still sticking by, so man, though, she's still sticking by, I'm like, I gotta keep going and keep fighting, because, you know what I mean, she still believe in me. And then my niece, Zah, my brother Dominic daughter, because at that time, she only 4, you know what I mean, 4 years old, and she don't really know what's going on. It's like just a whole, you know what I mean, world spin, you know what I mean, my father getting incarcerated, and I'm, you know, we had a good little bond, so she just sitting there like, dang, you know what I mean, her whole world rock. So I'm like, I gotta be there for my niece, because my brother gone, you know what I mean, incarcerated. So I gotta get, you know what I mean, strong for her. And I was kind of being selfish. I know a lot of people would miss me if I'm gone, but I'm just thinking like I gotta be strong for them, you know what I mean? Because people growing, I know everybody got their own lives, and I know people miss me, whatever, but life goes on, you know what I mean? That's the reality of life. But so while I'm in a nursing home, we're making the best out of that situation. You know what I mean? We spending a lot of time together, share up there, and I gotta thank my sis Shawnee, because she was allowing my niece Zah to come up there a lot, you know what I mean, spending a lot of time with me, because, like I said, we had that bond, and it was vital. She knew how vital it was for her to be there, you know what I mean, to be able to spend time with her. So as time going by in the nurse home, like I said, I had many long nights. Like, I was really, like, depressed about the whole situation. You know what I mean? You talking about somebody that went from, like, my whole life, I never even really had nothing serious going. I had probably, like, a simple cold and things like that, but I never thought, like, you know, I never dealt with no injuries and the things that came with it. Like, when I first got injured, my temperature, I don't know how to explain it, but dealing with your temperature, I don't sweat no more. So that's how I was able to get fevers, because I get overheated or whatever. So I get fevers, and then if it was cold outside, like, even though I can't feel like the actual cold or wind hit my legs, it still affects your temperature, you know what I mean? So I get cold, and I'd be shivering to the point where I couldn't even, it was uncontrollable, like shivering. I might warm, like, put a blanket over me or whatever, but I'd still be like shivering uncontrollably or whatever. That's why I thank God, because a lot of those things, like, not going on no more, you know what I mean? I held up from those things, but I'm in a nursing home. My father making his way up there. Every chance he get, man, my father ain't played, because he was living in New Jersey with his girlfriend at the time, Miss Connie. So he was staying with her in New Jersey, but every chance he got to come to town to see me, he was making his way, bringing his little snacks and all that, man. I love my father, but yeah, so he making his way, coming to see me every chance he get. You know what I mean? My man Malvin, man, shout out my man Malvin. He come in every Friday. I talked to my sister Donish, and I asked her, did she remember my man Malvin? It's like, yeah, you talking about the guy who came on a Friday. So yeah, man, he made it his business to come every Friday. But while I'm in a nurse home, like I said, I'm just doing therapy, doing my best to just get strong. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I'm already kind of forecasting how my life ready to go. I'm like, in prison, you're dependent, and then I'm thinking in this situation, like, oh man, that's why I said it was like the worst thing that ever happened to me at the time. I'm thinking, like, I gotta be a dependent again, you know what I mean? So the first thing I'm thinking, like, I gotta get as strong as possible, as fast as possible, you know what I mean? But I remember telling my therapist, one of the therapists, and that, shout out to all the therapists and that. But I remember one time just telling one of the therapists and that, like, man, I gotta get strong as fast as possible. And she like, it's not a race, it's a marathon, you know what I mean? So I hold that, you know what I mean, with me to this day. Like, I just try to take it one day at a time. She's like, it's not a race, it's a marathon. So while I'm in a nursing home, like I said, I woke up without a skull on my head. And I tell anybody, like, I tell any man, because they can understand, like, our testicles, man, it's super tender, but the brain is like 1,000 times way more tender than, you know what I mean, than that. So I had the experience of going without, you know what I mean, having a skull in your head. It's super tender to the point where if I lay my head on the right side of my head, I just get a simple headache, you know what I mean? At the time, if I even move my head fast, it just came to injuries. Like if I move my head fast, I just get dizzy and just, you know what I mean? But it was a lot. So I was supposed to be wearing a helmet, but I wasn't wearing a helmet. I'll be going out, man, with shape people. They be picking me up. My man Pops, they be picking me up for Sunday dinners. We just be going out to dinner period, you know what I mean? So we be going out Sunday dinners. I remember Miss Cat and Shane used to play. I think that's her name. Shane played. She'd be like, wear your helmet, and she was super protective. And I get it, you know what I mean? I appreciate it, but you know what I mean? I was just doing me. And so we'd be going out. I wouldn't even have my helmet on. And looking back, I know it was pretty reckless to live like that. Like I said, I just living with pride. And I know pride gets you in trouble, but that's just what it was. I wasn't wearing my helmet, so I'm just going out. And so when I'm at the nursing home, they got me wearing a diaper at the time. And that's because the doctor didn't really know what he was doing, because he wasn't used to dealing with like spinal cord patients or whatever. So instead of him had me be my bladder, like I said, I used a catheter or whatever. Instead of me doing it the proper way, I just leaked up. And so I was doing that. Like I said, it was just all brand new. I just couldn't even believe it. But one day, my bladder, so it'll hold. And so if it hold, I get a serious headache. I remember I had the first migraine I ever had in my life. Like I said, this is new to me. I ain't never had like no migraine, not like that. I remember I had the worst migraine I had in my life, the first one. And I'm talking my head pound and pound and pound. It took for shit to come on. The nurses and none of them knew what to do, like what was causing. The whole time I had to relieve myself. She had to come off from work when she was getting off or whatever. She came up there and did it, saved my little tail, man. Had the meanest migraine. I'm in there crying and all that. I'm talking about head pounded, then it pounded on the right side of my head where, you know, my injury at. So it was super, super pounding. So she relieved me from that. So like I said, it was a lot just dealing with that whole situation. And so while I'm there, I wound up getting surgery on my head, cranioplasty, hard plastic on my head down at the University of Maryland. And so when I get that done, the procedure was an overnight procedure. And it was crazy because I was pressing my sister Donisha, like, can you come cut my hair before the surgery? Not knowing they was going to skin my little head bald anyway, you know what I mean, for the procedure. So, and anytime I go into surgery, I don't ever be nervous and nothing like that. Cause like I said, whatever's for me is going to be for me. So I just stayed calm as possible. So I went and got my head done, you know, the cranioplasty. It was an overnight procedure, which was a good thing. So I healed good. Only thing about it, man, they had to put a daggone stitch back in my head because they had a tube sticking out of my head. I forgot why they said, but it'd be a lot of blood just rushing to that where they do the surgery at. So they had to drain it. So they had a tube where it drained the blood from my head. And it went good. Only thing about it, like I said, they had to put a stitch in my head, and I really wanted them to make it where I couldn't feel it or whatever. They like, nah, it's just a little simple stitch. But I had got that done, and it had broke the first attempt. So the next attempt they had did it and got through. That thing hurt, but it was something slight though. So I got it done. So like I said, that was an overnight procedure. So after surgeries, most of the time you gotta do therapy while you're there to make sure you're still capable of doing what you know what I mean, normally do. So I did the therapy there, you know what I mean. They saying I was well to go home. And the therapist from there, from the University of Maryland, one of the therapists actually wound up saying, like, you know what I mean, did you ever hear of Kennedy Krieger? And, you know, growing up, with just throughout my whole life, I never even thought about, the only thing I thought about Kennedy Krieger was dealing with little kids. And they was like, they got something special going on there, you know what I mean, for therapy reasons. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to check them out. I appreciate that. And so with them telling me that, I'm thinking, like, University of Maryland is Keiron, because that's what I had intention on going back to therapy. You know, outpatient therapy or whatever. But once she told me that, I'm thinking, like, well, for her to tell me that, it gotta be a special reason, because, you know, University of Maryland, Keiron, they're associated. You know what I mean? That's like somebody at McDonald's telling me to go to Burger King. Ain't like no opposition, nothing like that, because both programs are good, don't get me wrong. But for her to tell me that, I'm like, well, I gotta go ahead and check them out. So I went on YouTube, checked out Kennedy Krieger, and it was what she said it was. It definitely got something special going on. That was the best thing that happened to me, you know what I mean? Her giving me that information. So, time going by, I'm dead, you know what I mean? So I had to stay there long-term care to be able to get housing because the place where we was staying at prior to my injury, I couldn't go back there if they had steps and everything, you know what I mean? So brand new situation. So I couldn't go back there. I really didn't have nowhere to go. So I had to get housing, you know what I mean, get my own place. So thanks to Miss Gwen, she put me down, my guy, Mr. Hartley, man. Shout out my man, Mr. Hartley. She put me down with him to get in this program with the coordinator center. So he hooked me up with the coordinator center, and then we started the process of me getting place. So time went by, we wound up getting a place, and I definitely wanted to find an area where it was, you know what I mean, good, nothing like too rowdy, you know what I mean, man, shade, you know what I mean, my girl, so I'm just like, you know what I mean, I can't even know where it's all reckless and, you know what I mean, just all wild. So we wound up getting a good spot at it, going through a nice little process, you know what I mean. So we wound up getting a spot. And so after a while, we leave the nurse home at the year. And like I said, the whole year, she living with me, basically, you know what I mean. So she rocked that thing out. So we wound up moving, getting a place. And so once we get the place, it's basically like a new life. And so I wound up getting a place. We moved, and then probably like a year later, I think I started going to Kenny Creek, like 2018. So yeah, so I started going to Kenny Creek. So it's a new beginning. And I ain't gonna lie, like going to Kenny Creek, it's a whole new world. I'm catching mobility. Shout out to all the mobility drivers. Shout out to any of my therapists, anybody that did any of the procedures on me, all that, man. I'm truly grateful, you know what I mean? But I go down Kenny Creek, man. That's why I say I really was in a position where I really want to complain about a lot, but I can't. So I'm like stuck in the middle for real because going out Kennedy Creek, I see so much. And just being on mobility period, I see so much where I be wanting to complain about my situation, but I know I can't because I'm really blessed and I made it out. You know what I mean? So it's really, that's why I'm big on gratitude because it's really nothing I really can't complain about because there's always somebody going through something worse. And I know people say that's cliche, but it's really a real thing because going out Kennedy Creek, I realized like there's no such thing as normal because we just all having a different experience. You know what I mean? Everybody's experience is different. You know what I mean? But I'm going down Kennedy Creek. So I started going down there for therapy, which was a blessing, man, because to this day I'm going down Kennedy Creek. But early in my earlier years, like I said, I'm dealing with so much as far as like being depressed about the situation, stressing, you know what I mean, just every night. And it was some nights where, some days, should I say, where I just be blown about just waking up for real. I just wake up just mad like, oh, it's another day, you know what I mean, just living like this. I'm really just upset, like, you know what I mean, just blown. And then I forgot to mention that one day my man Chucky, my brother Chucky, he came down there to visit me or whatever. And it's like in the earlier months, he was like, man, you don't know what happened. I'm like, nah, I don't know what happened. And he was shocked that I didn't know. A couple people was shocked that I didn't know. But he wound up telling me the story of what happened. And basically it was a fist fight that went bad. You know what I mean? That's why I say in a blink of a moment, a blink of an eye, life can change drastically. You know what I mean? That's why I say a lot of things don't be worth it. That's why I just try to keep my cool as much as possible. Just keep my peace. Because one little situation just changed your life forever. You know what I mean? So he told me that it was a fist fight that gone bad. And so once he told me, I'm kind of like, it was a sort of a relief because, you know, I take accountability for my actions. You know what I mean? I take accountability for my actions because I'm out there fighting. You know what I mean? That's what comes with it. It's either death or prison, you know what I mean, dealing with the streets. So I'm accountable for my actions. Still, I was asking like, dang, why? You know what I mean? Just questioning, you know what I mean? But through my days, and like I said, I just stay grounded on my faith. And I know God got a plan, you know what I mean, behind everything. You know what I mean? Wherever it seems like it's chaos, is always order, you know what I mean? So I know it's a plan behind everything. I'm still human at the end of the day, so it still was like difficult just dealing with that situation, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm still human and having emotions, just going through living life like everybody else, you know what I mean? So once he told me, I found some relief. And then like a few months ago, my sister Renee, you know what I mean, her and my sis Cece was up here and we up here kicking it. And she wound up telling me she was actually the person who found me. She said I was like in between cars in a cut, saying help. And like I said, my diaphragm weak, so she probably could barely hear me, but I'm glad she did. She basically saved my life, man. And when she told me that, I was like emotional about it. I'm like, damn, I can't believe I was down bad like that. You know, man. Just even think like I was down like that. But I thank God she found me, so shout out to her. And as time going by, I'm in a house. And actually, like, the trauma of this whole situation, I became a shell of myself for real. And I wasn't even myself no more. It was just a new life. And I'm just, like, devastated and stressed, like, throughout my days. And I really became, like, a monster almost to a degree, like, nothing too crazy. I was still me to a degree, but still, like, just honing in this trauma, you know what I mean? Because it was just so difficult. Because, like I said, I ain't never, like, been sick or nothing like that. So just dealing with trying to hold on to who I was and accepting this new beginning. And it was so difficult. And so while we at home, like, I really, like, took it out on Shay, unfortunately. And she used to say that, like, when we argue and stuff like that, like, you taking it out on the wrong person. And she was there for me, like, every therapy session I had, she there, you know what I mean? This before she grabbed me. We catch mobility together, everything. And like I said, she taking care of me to the point, even in a nurse home where they should have really been paying in the nursing home for real, because she doing everything as far as my bowel, bladder. She took care of me when I couldn't take care of myself. And I meant to mention, like, I had something called heterotopic ossification, HO, where it was a bone I had grew inside my pelvis, the size of a golf ball for real. So I couldn't even lift up my left leg. So for a while, I couldn't even put my shoes on. I'd probably be able to put my right shoe on, but I couldn't put my left shoe on. And so I had that procedure done while I was home, because I had to allow the bone to continue to grow. Because what happens with HO is, like, your brain sending a signal to your body to send calcium. So it was overgrowth of bone. And I really think it hit my whole left side. Like, my body, like I said, I try not to complain. I really feel like it hit my whole left side. But anyway, it was the bone inside my pelvis. They had to remove that once I got situated in my home. So they had to allow it to fully grow and develop. So after a while, I got that cut off and removed. Like I said, we in a spot. And a lot of days, like, I feel bad looking back on it, because I remember one day she pushed me to the shower, and I felt as though she was pushing me out fast. You know what I mean? I probably was just in my feelings or whatever. Like I said, it was just a lot on me, you know what I mean, just dealing with it. She took it like a champ, you know what I mean, just being there, because she ain't never, like, feel no type way. She just took it on the chin. And I'm fussing, like, you pushing me too fast or whatever. I'm just getting lean and all that. Just crazy. That's why I said I feel bad looking back. And she really got the worst of me for real, because I was just dealing with so much trauma. And that was one thing. So just dealing with this whole situation, like, you got bladder problems. Then, like I said, it might be times where I done felt plenty of times, you know what I mean, through my days, my earlier years, I done felt plenty of times, and that just come from, like, this trying stuff. I tell anybody, like, don't do as I do, but I was just trying stuff so I can get stronger. Because I ain't want nobody that had to be here 24/7, because I don't like to hold nobody up, you know what I mean? Because people got their own lives. And just in case, like, you know what I mean, she want to be gone, like, I don't want no 24-hour watch. I want to be an independent person, you know what I mean, being an individual. So there's a lot of times I'll be trying stuff and fail. But the beauty of it is that when I fall, I'm going to find my way to get up. It made me a better critical thinker, you know what I mean? So I just think my way out. Even though I ain't got my legs, I just critically think of a way to get up, you know what I mean? So it made me stronger character-wise, you know what I mean, and mentally. But a few years in, we wound up getting my little dog, Ace, my son. My little man, Ace. And there have been times where, so with my brain injury, I'll get these little, they say I got epilepsy. They diagnosed me with epilepsy, and I'm kind of blown about that. But they see abnormal waves in my head or whatever. So they diagnosed me with epilepsy, and there have been times where I do have these little episodes where I just pass out. And like I said, I done got better over time, because I be fully conscious now. I can feel it coming. But in my earlier days, man, I'd be passing out. And it was one day I remember, like, I was trying to hurry up and go to the refrigerator to get some water, and she was probably gone at work or something. Just, man, Ace in here. And I'm trying to make it to the refrigerator. Next thing you know, I done blacked out, and I find myself on the floor. And I'm sitting on the floor, and I'm just, like I said, it was just a lot. I'm just looking at myself. I just can't believe I just can't get up. You know what I mean? I just get to crying about that. Like I said, it was just a lot, just not being able to do the little things that we take for granted. And so, it been times I done fell when my little man Ace here get to run. He know what's going on. He smarter on the way, just get to run over, licking my little tears or whatever. But like I said, one thing about life, man, when you fall down, you gotta get back up. You know what I mean? Life keep going. You know what I mean? So, and it made me stronger. But of course, now I'm stronger to the point where I ain't doing too much falling now. It's very rare. You know what I mean? But it's still like in this situation, you can't never get too comfortable. You know what I mean? Because you gotta stay on point. You gotta consciously think about everything. You know what I mean? Every movement. So I ain't got time to be getting caught slipping and, you know what I mean, not being on point. There's been times like I don't even drink no more, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I don't smoke because I feel like I want to allow my body to heal up and be in optimal health, you know what I mean? So I don't want to be in my own way of healing up fully, you know what I mean? So I don't do nothing no more, but there been times I done been drunk and then I done had to really make my way in the bed, you know what I mean, with everything in me to make it in my bed or whatever. But like I said, we back at the house. And like I said, the Sunday dinners, man, shout out to our family, man. Everybody, our brothers, sister, Bowman, everybody, y'all know what it is. Uncles, everybody, they whole family embraced me and my niece because they allowed me, my niece, Zah, you know what I mean? We family always, you know what I mean? They embraced us with nothing but open arms and love. The Sunday dinners continued, man, just going out of town, everything, you know what I mean? But y'all always gonna be appreciated. Y'all know what's up. But and rest in peace to both our grandfathers, man. My granddad and Papa died. And just know life goes, you know what I mean? We never die. Yeah, I know y'all always gonna be here. And Granddad, I got you. You know what I mean? I'm gonna walk again. I got you. You gonna see that. But you know, life we get rough, but we gotta just keep our head up and stay positive. And you know, like through my days, like being stressed, one day I just was out on the balcony. I do a lot of meditation, like even on the outside, like people see me smile, but at that time, like I was just really going through it in the house, you know what I mean? But one day I'll just be on the balcony and just meditating. I'm just like, I know God got me because I've been blessed my whole life. I mean, I done made it through many things. I know he still got me through this situation. And I know one day I just was on the balcony just thinking like, meditating, like, if I'm gonna be stressed about this for the rest of my life, because if I ain't gonna die, you know what I mean, tomorrow, then who knows how long I'm gonna be here, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's either I'm stressed about it for the rest of my life or just control what I can control, you know what I mean? Worry about what I do have and don't worry about what I don't have, you know what I mean? So I was just like, you know what, from this day forth, I'm just gonna go ahead and just control what I can control and just whatever's in my power I'm gonna do to get back to walk. There ain't no need to stress about it because it's out of my hands. I know everything happened in divine time. You know what I mean? I know it's God's plan. You know what I mean? So it's going to happen when it's supposed to. And I just feel like whatever for me going to be for me. And like I said, I'm big on perception. So I had to change my perception. One day I was just looking at this podcast, my man Robert Evergrant. And he just said it's all about perception. Instead of looking at life happening to you, look at it as it happening for you. You know what I mean? So I live like that, you know what I mean? Because like I'm just looking at everything that's happening for me. And even though every day, like I said, it's a journey, it's not easy, you know what I mean? I wouldn't even tell nobody that it's easy, and it's not, but, you know what I mean? I just stay in the moment and just take it one day at a time, you know what I mean? I just look at everything that's happening for me. So, my time going by, living like this, like I said, it'd be rough. I know I'm just trying to squeeze everything, but it's definitely rough because it might be times where my bladder might go off, you know what I mean? Because I stopped wearing a diaper, like I said. And so it might be times where I just got out the shower, put my clothes on, then my bladder go off and I get wet. You know what I mean? It's just little stuff you gotta deal with that might just frustrate you. And like I said, it used to frustrate me back then, but I got more calculated, you know what I mean? Whereas I'm more on point now, and it just come with the territory, you know what I mean? So it built me, so it just made me just be more at peace with the situation. You know what I mean? And that was the main thing about it. It was just hard, like accepting this new life. You know what I mean? So that's why I tell anybody the power of surrender is real. You know what I mean? The power of surrender and just letting go. And I think my life is much easier now that I just allow life be what it's gonna be, and whatever's for me gonna be for me. I don't seek nothing. You know what I mean? I just take it one day at a time. And it's easier for me to live like this now because I'm just allowing God to you know what I mean, take over my life. You know what I mean, I just control what I control. You know what I mean? But outside of that, I'm at peace with everything. You know what I mean? But I just want to fast forward to 2021. So at this point in my life, I felt, you know what I mean, at peace with the whole situation. I'm feeling better. You know what I mean? Just taking one. Like I said, it wasn't never easy, but like I said, I just meditate and just, you know what I mean, wake up and do what I gotta do. So fast forward to 2021. The person that I talk to every day in my life, man, every morning, every night. Good night, Dad. Good morning, son. I love you, my father, man. And me getting shot, it took a hit on my father. Like every day when we talk, man, my father would bring it up. Like he was how blown he was about me getting shot. And I'd be like, man, Dad, let it go, man. It's all good. You know what I mean? Everything happened for a reason. And like I said, my father was like my best friend for real. You know what I mean? Outside of my little brother. And so 2021, man, I remember one day Shay was like, when the last time you talked to your father, I used to talk to my father on Google Duo on a regular, you know what I mean, saying my father, like I said, he was out of town. And I'm like, I ain't seen my father in a little minute. She like, your father looking a little small. I'm thinking like, it just probably come with age, you know what I mean, getting old. I'm just blowing it off, like, I ain't about nothing, you know what I mean? So, one day, I can kind of hear in his voice a little bit. He'd say little stuff like, his stomach hurt. It was just like little stuff. I'm just thinking like stuff just come with age, you know what I mean? But one day my father come in town and she take me down there. He was at my grandmother's house and she take me in town to go see my father. I know she remember this night, man. I see my father, man. He come to the car. Man, I couldn't believe what I saw, man. My father was just a shell of himself, man, physically. I'm just like, man, when I tell you I could have died that night, my heart was broken seeing my father. I'm sitting there talking to him. I get to crying like, man, what's going on? Talk to him. He like, son, I got cancer. I'm like, what? So I'm just blown. I'm like, that just broke my whole heart. So when he tell me he got cancer, I'm just blown. I'm just crying. I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, like, God, why did I had to be in a wheelchair with him going through this? You know what I mean? I'm just like, just devastated for real. And so he told me he got cancer. He was like, well, nah, son, they telling me it's just a little something. They ain't nothing. Looking back, I know he was just trying to like protect my feelings or whatever, but so as time going by, like months going by, and I ain't even gonna say months. Oh yeah, it was like months going by. As time going by, I can hear in his voice like he just getting worse and worse. And so then one day he come in town or whatever. And he come in town to get checked into the hospital. So then he get checked into the hospital. They keep him in the hospital. They like, well, we keep him in the hospital, so I'm not thinking nothing of it at the time, so I'm just like, you know what I mean, hopefully it's just a little checkup. And so days going by, I remember telling my little brother, like, I don't know if Dad's gonna be here when you get home. Because I could just hear it in his voice, like, it's just getting worse and worse, and I'm talking about it just hit him fast. So, all of us, me and my brothers on my father's side, Branson, Devin, Tony, Tevin, Isaiah, and my sister Ryan, we all on the phone on a group call, and they basically like, the doctors tell them that my father only got a few days left to live. And I'm telling you, that shocked my world. I was just super devastated, man. When they said that on the phone, I had to put it on mute, man. I just broke down, man. That's why I said it was just a lot. Because I'm already dealing with my own personal life situation. Then I hear that, my best friend, I'm just like, when talking to my father, like talking to myself, man. So it was like, hearing that news, I'm just like, dang, I'm just broke down again. And so, when I hear that news, that's why I like watching John Q. I can't even watch one of my favorite movies no more because I know how I feel when somebody just, it's something different when you kind of warmed up to a situation. You know what I mean? You got time to kind of like gradually deal with it. That news came out of nowhere. And so my whole world was right. You talking about like a few days. I'm devastated. So, I'm going down to the hospital. She taking me, you know what I mean? And if she couldn't take me, I'm catching mobility. Making sure my father had everything he need. You know what I mean? Call my son, grab this. I need this. And I'm making sure my father was good. Like I said, that's my man. So I'm going down to the hospital. And so one day, my grandmother would tell us, like, well, we got to put him in hospice. They think about hospice because he ain't doing no better. He got stage 4 cancer and it's spreading crazy. So that's why I tell anybody, like, this little piece right here, it's an EMF protector. You know what I mean? You can look it up. It's called biogeometry. and it help you with your vital energy, and it's an EMF protector. Cause I tell people like these cell phone towers in this fool, man. I feel like they just trying to kill us, man. Like I said, these cell phone towers, there's no regulations on them, and the electromagnetic field, and it's killing us. Cause we're electromagnetic beings, and so get yourself a EMF protector, man. However, but cause cancer is real. Cause at the same, my father in that situation. That's why I don't wish it on nobody, because people make jokes about little mama when she was crying about her mother or whatever. And that's how I cry about it, man. Like I said, I'm still traumatized about it to this day. I don't really want to talk about it too much. But saying my father would do that, he ain't at a while. He was just going downhill. He ain't really remember who I was. And it was just a lot, man. Shit, I probably shouldn't have wrote it. But anyway, let me just speed past that, 'cause I don't even want to think about it. So my father was going downhill, and one thing I can say, I was by his side every day, you know what I mean? So I was just glad about that, 'cause like I said, I just had to be there, 'cause that's my man. So, dealing with that, I'm catching mobility, crying, just going through it. And that's why I said, I don't play about life, you know what I mean? I know I'm here to just live in the moment, but at the same time, I take it serious, because there was times where he'd be calling me, and I never knew, like, his time was going to be up soon. That's one thing I regret, like, not answering the phone when he called. You know what I mean? That's why I just try to be there as much as possible for all my loved ones. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just regret that, man. But my father wound up passing away from cancer, and that was hard. And that was hard. But life goes on. But let me keep going. So dealing with that, and around that time, she was still there, and I was going through so much, and I wasn't the best like boyfriend to her, because I wasn't in a position to really be in a relationship. So I'm trying to deal with my own life, and then deal with my father passing away. It was just a lot, and that's why I'm just blown about everything. I gotta keep going, but so like I said, she got the worst of me, man. I'm just grateful that she was there for the time that she was, and we lasted for like 6 years, man. So shout out to her always. It's always love. But that was pretty much it, man. I gotta wrap this video up. I'll be back with part 5. That's gonna conclude. Sorry about that, man. It's just real, man. It's all me. But I'll be back with part 5. That's gonna conclude this whole series. You know what I mean? Of my experience. And I love all, man. And stay grateful, man. Stay positive about everything. And don't take nothing for granted in life, man. I'm all about gratitude. Love all. Peace.